All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's match preview press conference ahead of the Revolution's game against the Chicago Fire FC this Saturday. We're joined now by interim head coach Clint and Peay. We're going to get right into questions here. We'll start with Frank DeLappa in the room. Frank?
Can you talk about this game coming up, Chicago, how important it is, and then maybe talk about the final stretch run of the season, what you're looking for?
Yeah, look, it's the first game of many to end the season. It's the most important game right now for us. We need 3 points. It's a tight race, and I think that it will set the tone for the rest of the season for us. I think Chicago's hurting a little bit with some injuries, some red card situations. So, we've got to be on the front foot and ready to take the game to them and get 3 points.
Okay, we'll go to Caroline.
Thanks for the time, Clint. Appreciate it. Can I just ask how the health of the squad is looking mentally and physically? How do you feel they've responded this week in training?
Yeah, great. I think everyone's been really good in training. Attitude's been great. Guys have been working hard and working together well, and physically they're fine. No issues there.
Okay, we'll go to the Zoom now. We'll got a few questions. We'll go to Hayden Bird with Boston.com and then Rich Thompson with the Boston Herald. Hayden?
Hey, Clint. Thanks for doing this. I know you're, obviously still new to this role, and it might be kind of hard to say at this point, just with some players still out. But do you have a sense yet of kind of who your best 11 might be, and what kind of formation and tactics you'd want to use with that group?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we've got a lot of depth, obviously. I think there's some guys that can be interchangeable in that 11. But I don't think there's going to be big changes from what we've seen over the last few weeks in terms of starting 11. And I just think at the end of the day, depending on the opponent, we just have to make the best decisions for what's going to make sense. And then there are some midweek games coming up. So, the idea of resting and rotating players, if it makes sense, to keep everyone fresh will be something that we have to consider.
Next, we'll go to Rich Thompson with the Boston Herald. Rich?
Thank you. Hi, Clint. Just comment on protecting the house. This team has a very good home record this year, got a result in every game. Just your feelings coming home and making use of these home games.
Yeah, it's hugely important when we get back home. They have been really good over the course of the season, and yeah, I think they take pride in that to be able to go out in front of the fans here and perform and get results. So, we want to continue that, obviously, and I think the players understand that, the importance of it.
We'll go back to Frank DeLappa in the room.
We'll talk about Matt Polster, I think, missed last game. What's his status now, and maybe update on Gustavo?
Yeah, Matt was out because of cards. He's fine. He's back with the group, and we suspect that he'll play a role in the game, certainly. And Gustavo is slowly starting to come back into some things, and I think is progressing very well. Probably another 10 days to 2 weeks, probably, for Gustavo.
All right, we'll go back to the Zoom. We have Seth McCumber with the Blazing Musket. Seth?
Hi, Clint. Thanks for taking the time. Can you just talk a little bit about Tomas Vaclik? What have you seen of him, and is it possible that he starts this weekend?
Yeah, obviously a true pro. He's been great so far with the guys. Works hard in training. I think we're still getting to know him a little bit as a player, and us, him. And so I think this weekend maybe a little bit too soon, but we want to make sure his fitness right, that he's in tune with what we're trying to do as a team. And so I don't believe he'll be the guy this weekend, but we certainly believe that he'll play a part as we move forward.
Next, we'll go to Sam Minton with the Blazing Musket, and then we'll wrap with any last questions in the room if we have them. Sam?
Hello, Clint. Thank you for taking the time. So just overall, it's kind of been mentioned, it's been a bit of a whirlwind for you. So just how has it been just having a full week of training with the guys leading up to the Chicago match?
Yeah, it's been good. We've been able to introduce some ideas, and the guys have been really good with receiving those ideas. And so It's just nice to be able to kind of do it on the field with a full week, explore it a little bit, get some feedback from the players. So it's been a really good week so far.
Okay, we'll go back to Caroline for our last question.
Thanks. You touched on a little bit the issues that Chicago had this weekend with injuries, suspensions. How do you expect them to approach the game, and what are the plans to counter those threats?
Yeah, so they're at home. They still have a lot to play for. They're right in the hunt still. So I suspect that they're going to still want to go for it. I don't think their identity changes too much from what we've seen. It's just different personnel. So I think they're going to try to be hard to play against, make it difficult for us in terms of how we build up the game. And then, they're very good in transition. So I suspect they want to take advantage of that.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.